welcome to Nerd Goblin Art. I'm Lula. So today I'm going to have a go at doing this tea light bat shelf. It's from Temu, and this is my ghost mould. This one's from IntoResin. That's what it looks like. That's my friend that lives on my desk. And I'm going to be trying out some Let's Resin neon powders in this one. And with the bat shelf, I'm using Tiny Turner's Starlight and Supernova mica powders. And I will be linking everything I use, if I can, in the description below. So I'm using a small paintbrush and I'm putting Starlight, funnily enough, onto the stars and the moon. It's a really lovely colour. It is like magic because I just showed it to you up close on the screen and it really doesn't come out like this colour. And don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook. Link is in the description. It is a little bit tricky on there's like a lantern in the middle of the bat's chest. A little bit tricky to get down in there. I have got eyeshadow applicators to the side, but they're just too thick for that type of work. And just to try and tidy up my mess a little bit, I've got some cotton buds and I've sprayed some isopropyl on there. Can't seem to get a very good job on it though. But I figured, stars glow, so they can have a little bit of a glowy effect around them. Now this is Supernova that I'm putting on the main body of the bat. You look at it in there and it really doesn't look like what you think it will. In hindsight, I do love it. In hindsight, I think I should have chosen a different colour. I forgot that Starlight and Supernova are pretty similar. So I didn't get the contrast that I was in my head that I was thinking about. I'm going to put on some music for you because this takes a few minutes. That seemed to take ages, didn't it? Right, I've got my black mica powder ready and I've got the resin on the go. I've already pressed it for a few times. The colour looks really cool, doesn't it, on there? Yeah, I put the mixer on around 6 times and then I make sure that I scrape the sides and the bottom just to make sure everything's fully mixed in. I've not had a problem yet. So I'm just going to put in my black mica powder, and this is for the bat, and this is simply because with these powders, black just does better. It really does look better with it. And there we go, and I'm giving it a pour from on slightly high in hopes of getting rid of any bubbles. Of course, I couldn't spray the mould because I put mica powder on there, so there we go. But I will use a lighter. There we go. It is important with these moulds. I've got a few of these styles. I've got 2 cats and the bat. I've done one of the cats previously, so I know it's important that you don't overfill, because these extra parts above the bat, they how you attach the shelving unit. And as usual, my desk is lying to me. So I've just put a lollipop stick to the rescue for making sure it's not dripping all over one side and emptying on the other. So a bit more mica in there for the extra part. It's like the lip. This is the bit that supports the other bit. You'll see. You've probably seen these before anyway. So there you go. And using my long neck lighter, and I'm using that before using that isopropyl alcohol. If you do need to use flame again, you just need time to evaporate a bit and sink away and you'll find. So I'm splitting the last of the resin between 2 cups because I want to try 2 of the neon powders together. No rhyme or no rhyme or reason. I just decided at that moment, because I only had 2 cups, like one for the black and one for the neon, and then at the last minute I was like, I'll mix 2. Why not? Okay, so these are from Let's Resin, and they're very nice. You've got a lot of, I guess, samey kind of like the pinks, the corals, the deep pink, and all that. They look very similar to me, but I've not tried them. So, so today I think I go for pink and blue. Yeah, I think it's the deep pink as well. You'll see now anyway when I lift it out. There we go. And yep, there you are, not even opened. And don't worry, I don't slice off a finger. But it was a pain to get into. I gotta be fair. I put in about 3 or 4 scoops of that. I wasn't sure. And these micas are quite lumpy. I was the blue more than the pink, and I was quite surprised by that. So I may take a leaf out of Michelle from Glitz and Glitter's book and get myself a pestle and mortar just for grinding some of these colours down a little bit, because it really took a lot of work to get these neons mixed in, and they were still, I think they're still a bit bitty, which is a shame. I don't know why, but I've never used neons in resin before, so and I usually use neons in paintings, but it's nothing like this. So a bit frustrating, but I think I will order a pestle and mortar. The ghost mould is from IntoResin. It's a fantastic little mould. I have made several ghosts with this and I really like it. And if you look in the description, right at the bottom of my description, I have a lovely 20% off code with IntoResin. I believe it's Nerd Goblin, but you can find it at the bottom. There you go. So I'm going to pour in together. Again, no idea why. I think because I done a pour on a recent video with my like autumn inspired bowl, I just decided to do the same thing. It probably, will turn out like a purple colour. Who knows? I could have left the resin go for a little while and warm up so there was less mixing going on, but I didn't want to. I do kind of wish though that I had put it through the debubbler for the ghost smoke, because with it's an IntoResin. They're handmade, and you shouldn't be spraying them with alcohol and putting any lighters to them or whatnot. So there we go. And just because I had a very small amount left over, between the 3 cups I had, there wasn't quite enough to fill up my little beer. But I just done a mixture. I was hoping for bright pinkish ears and a little bit of a mixture of the colours together. Um, I think I worked out my measurements pretty good for a change, and the beer wasn't quite full up to the top. So we stopped one not where I had the mixer sitting for a drain off. Yeah. Now the waiting game, and for you, mere moments. For me, hours and hours and hours of waiting and checking. But I'm too impatient. I put the heat mat on. I probably shouldn't have. That's probably why I got a few mica bubbles in the beer and the ghost, but I'm not worried about that. I was just wanting to try out. They don't look spectacular, do they? But you wait and see. You wait and see. I've got to admit, initially when I was doing those in my head, I was like, oh, neon. And I confused them with glow in the dark. So I was a bit, after I did it, I was like, oh no. But it's okay. It's good. It's good. I do enjoy neons. Like I said, I use neons in paintings. There we go. Nearly out. Nearly out. I just didn't want to like snap off the edges of the wings. There we go. We'll be ready. Way! And no bubbles in there either. Not in the bat, which I'm really pleased with. But you can see what I mean by the colours in the actual bat. I put the two very similar colours together. Putting the bat together is really easy. As long as you don't do any overpouring, you're not going to have any issues with it fitting in. You won't have to do any trimming. So don't overfill it. And there you go. See? It went straight in. Now, can you guess that I hadn't got things ready? I wasn't thinking. And I was like, oh, I need my little candle and a necklace to show you, to show you hanging it up. So it's really cool. You got those little indents for hanging on bits of jewelry and stuff, and a little space for a candle. Because I've not used a resin that's heat resistant, so I thought I'd show you these. Now we do 3D printing, and I've been making these ghosty pets. They've been really popular actually on my website, and some of them are going into the shop as well. Um, yeah, so please leave a message in comments if you would like to see a video on me putting these together. And I can probably share information on the printer that we use too. Okay, so just a few finishing touches. The bat is fine. He doesn't need anything other than having like a D shape um thingamajiggy attached to the back to hang it up. I can't remember the name of it, but I do that off camera. So I've used my black Posca pen to give the ghost his eyes and his mouth, and given the bear his eyes and his nose. His mouth didn't really need it. And I've got my chrome marker in silver to give the bear his little hat, which is on his, well, it's like a pocket hat, isn't it? There we go. He needs his little pocket hat. And I do put my finger back straight in it. because I'm me. I put my finger straight onto it and put a fingerprint on there. This little bear needed a crown, very important. So it was just a decision on what colour, and I thought he's already in daylight, and in under regular light he looks normal. It's too dark for the black one, but then I remembered that I just used silver marker on his hat, which I'm going over now. And don't worry, I wipe off that bit that I got on his body afterwards for the glamour shots. So a bit of J Diction UV resin there. I had to be very quick and careful because, as you can see, the sun had come out and decided it's been raining all day long. And just when I was doing this reveal, the sun decided to come out in all its glory. So it was really bright in my studio. Can you see the magic there? So I'm just doing dots of resin over the Posca pen. I just think it looks better. You don't have to, but personally, I think it makes the ghosts look a lot better because obviously the Posca pens aren't shiny and the ghost is quite glossy, so it takes away. So I rather put it on there. And can you see what's happening because of using neons? Gives a whole different perspective, doesn't it? Isn't that cool? I think the bear looks really awesome, actually. And where you can see at the bottom part where I put the black in, but the neons have kind of mixed in a little bit like stripes. So that's really funky. I like that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Love you and stay weird.